Hey, I'm Alice. Welcome to Facts That Surprise Even the Smartest Among Us. Today's episode might hit close to home, especially if you're a fan of fizzy drinks. Have you ever noticed that cola tastes different depending on whether it's from a can, a plastic bottle, or a glass one? You're not imagining it. The container really can change the flavor. To break down why, I've invited the most carbonated brain I know. Smarty.
I am Smarty. And Alice, this is a question that sparks more debate than pineapple on pizza. People swear their favorite cola tastes better from a glass bottle, or worse from a can, or vice versa. But the truth is, it's not just in your head. Science has a few fizzy answers.
Okay, so where do we even begin? What's the first reason the taste changes?
Let's start with the container material. Glass, aluminum, and plastic each interact with the drink differently. Glass is inert, meaning it doesn't react chemically with what's inside. That's why many people say cola from a glass bottle tastes the purest.
So it's like drinking it straight from the lab?
Pretty much. Glass is the gold standard because it's stable, doesn't leach, and preserves both the aroma and carbonation better than the others.
Okay, what about cans?
Cans are made of aluminum, but inside each one is a thin polymer lining that keeps the soda from corroding the metal. That lining itself can sometimes interact with the drink, especially if it starts to degrade over time or under heat. That's why some people describe a slight metallic taste.
So even though I'm not licking aluminum, I might still taste it?
Exactly. And here's where it gets more interesting. The lining isn't always the same from one manufacturer to another. So the can taste can vary depending on the brand, country, or even batch.
That's wild. And what about plastic bottles?
Plastic is made of PET polyethylene terephthalate. While it's food safe, it's also a little porous. That means over time, the carbonation can slowly escape, and oxygen can seep in. Oxygen dulls the flavor, and less carbonation means less bite.
So if I leave a plastic bottle in my car for a week, it's basically cola soup?
Kind of, yes. The flavor flattens, the fizz fades, and even slight changes in temperature speed up the process. Plus, plastic can sometimes leach acetaldehyde, a compound that gives off a slightly fruity or plastic-like aroma. It's subtle but noticeable to sensitive noses.
Okay, this is getting real. I always thought I was just imagining the difference.
Nope, your taste buds are spot on. But there's more. Let's talk about temperature. Metal cans chill faster than plastic or glass. A colder drink often tastes sharper and more refreshing, especially with carbonated beverages.
So the container affects not just taste, but also temperature?
Absolutely. If you grab a can from the fridge, it's likely colder than a plastic bottle next to it. That coldness enhances carbonation and suppresses sweetness. So even the same formula can taste different, just because of the chill factor.
That explains why soda at a party always tastes different depending on what's in the cooler.
Exactly. And speaking of carbonation, let's talk about how pressure is maintained. Cans are sealed tightly and built to handle internal pressure, which means the bubbles stay stronger, longer. Plastic bottles tend to lose their seal slightly, with repeated opening and closing. Glass bottles, if sealed properly, retain carbonation best, but are less common due to shipping weight and cost.
So in terms of pure science, glass wins?
In terms of taste preservation, yes. But there are psychological elements too.
Oh? Hit me with the brain science.
It's called expectation bias. If you believe that soda from a glass bottle tastes better, your brain will literally adjust its perception to match that belief. The weight of the bottle, the clink of glass, the look of the label. It all primes your brain to experience the drink as higher quality.
That's kind of beautiful. And also manipulative.
Exactly. Marketing and sensory cues play a huge role in how we taste. Even color of the packaging can affect perceived sweetness. Studies have shown people rate drinks in red cans as sweet or even when they're identical to those in blue ones.
Mind blown. So my brain is drinking one thing, but my mouth is drinking another.
Kind of, yeah. It's a teamwork or a tug of war between your senses and your expectations.
So if I want the best cola experience, what should I do?
Here's your pro tip. If you care most about taste purity, go for a glass bottle. If you want max chill and fast fizz, grab a can. If you want convenience but don't mind, a slightly flatter experience, plastic will do. But always store them cool and drink them soon after opening for best results.
And avoid leaving them in your car on a summer day.
Definitely. Especially plastic bottles. Those suffer the most in heat and light exposure. Ultraviolet rays can even degrade compounds in the soda itself, altering flavor.
So sunlight ruins everything, huh?
At least for soda, yes. And that's why many sodas come in dark-colored bottles to block light and preserve quality longer.
Okay, Smarty. Give me one weird cola fact to finish this off.
Here's one. In blind taste tests, people often fail to tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi, unless they're drinking from a can or bottle with branding. Remove the label, and suddenly, the clear favorite gets a lot more blurry.
So packaging is part of the flavor?
More than most people realize. The material, the label, the shape, the sound, it all creates an experience that shapes your taste. It's not just what's inside the bottle, it's the whole ritual.
Well, now I'll never drink soda the same way again.
Mission accomplished.
Thanks, Smarty. I think we all have a better understanding of why that can of cola just doesn't taste like the bottle, or why glass makes it feel fancier.
Always a pleasure, Alice. Now let's go find a vending machine and conduct some research.
And to all our listeners, next time you crack open a cola, take a moment to notice how you're drinking it. Because the taste isn't just in the soda, it's in everything around it. Thanks for listening, and stay curious. We'll be back soon with more delicious science.